are, the Nameless Isle. And here I thought Melody was unimaginative. Still, it's what's on the inside that counts, isn't that right? And this is the place you're meant to become a god. I can't help but wonder exactly what you intend to do with such a power. I have no doubt about that, but do remember, you can do what's good for you, too. All things in balance, you know. You'll want to hurry now. Divinity is waiting, after all. Excellent question. Normally, this place ought only to be known to Godwoken, but judging by the ships burning in the bay, there's been a breach, let's call it. Regardless of who's on the island, all that matters is who ascends. Make sure that's you. The strongest will survive.
Okay, wait. Before we go any further, there's something I want to ask you. Of course it can't wait. Okay, so... Did you hear the one about the pregnant lich? She forgot her prophylactory. You're very generous, thank you. I just want to lighten the mood, the smallest of scooches. I mean, we're at the Nameless Isle. One of us is about to ascend to divinity, and we still don't know exactly who. I guess things are about to get, interesting. Same to you, Chief. Same to you. And when push comes to shove, I'll try not to shove too hard.
Sabine slides her hand in yours, makes your heart skip a beat with her particularly coquettish smile.
I've something I need to tell you.
She scrapes her throat, hesitates, almost as if she's a bit nervous. There's a first.
I'm afraid you're going to accuse me of killing the mood, but the thing is, I need to talk to you about the Master. No, not anymore, or so I hope. My dear sweet prince, I've grown to trust you, more than I've trusted anyone since I've had names on my skin. Wasn't easy, I know. Come, sit down with me for a moment.
You both sit down, cross-legged, knees to knees, hand in hand. Suddenly, a melody. Sabine sings a song, haunting in its simplicity. She uses no words, sounds rather. It's beautiful, yet somehow menacing.
This is my Scar song. It's all the Master needs to make me his slave once more, unless your voice opposes his. I will soon confront him, with you by my side. My life and my liberty I place in these soft, strong hands of yours. Will you sing? Good answer.
Her cat's eyes close as she leans in for a kiss. You kiss. It's sweet and wonderful. You wish it could last forever.
My word.
You both get up and smile to one another warmly. When you hear a sound in the distance and turn to look, Sabine pats you affectionately on the bottom.
Adventure calls, but I say we do this again sometime. There's no time to waste.
I can sense the raw powers of the Source rippling through the air. She's a beautiful enigma, isn't she? I hope to hit...
Jahan takes you
by the by.
Gareth greets you warmly. He's oddly chipper.
I should thank you. I don't know what came over me. Praise Lucian I had you to put me on the right track. Not bad. Took some time to think. My parents led good lives. I'd rather celebrate them for the love they gave me than to wail over their loss. Besides, we have work to do. Once we anchor at the Nameless Isle, I'll scout ahead, see if I can help locate the Council and ease the way. I'll report to you on what I find. Nonsense. I just had to take time to renew my spirit. Lucian said, I will refresh the tired and satisfy the weary. Words as true today as when he said them.
Gareth offers his farewell and hums to himself. You recognize...
We disembark soon. I'll set out first and see what information I might find to ease your journey.
Do what you must at this place, sorcerer. I don't want to linger a moment longer than necessary.
Tread carefully, my dear. Those are black ring banners that I spy on the shore. I studied the tablet that you so generously provided. It showed me everything I need to know about creating a functional Swornbreaker. Once I have that, I'll be free of the Covenant. And free to spend the rest of my days with Mahali. See those structures further inland? Remarkably like those from the caverns of the Black Pits, aren't they? Should you discover the parts needed for a Swornbreaker, please bring them to me. Also, you will likely encounter sworn followers of the God King on that island, I suspect. I would avoid combat if possible. Death can be less than final for them, if the God King wills it.
Almira doesn't respond right away. Instead, she turns and gazes intently at the island. After a long moment, she finally speaks.
I sense a familiar presence. The Sallow Man. Yes. He's there somewhere. Likely commanding Black Ring forces. You should seek him out. He's a foul creature, but not opposed to cutting a deal. Beware his underlings, though. If they challenge your presence, pose as a thrall of mine, and you should gain safe passage. My name should still command respect among them. Something on your mind, darling?
Quite a journey I've found myself on with you. Is this where it ends, I wonder? Dangers indeed. You can almost hear the sounds of battle when the wind shifts correctly. And where there's battle, there's bound to be mercenaries. Gleku Duma, the words of the lone wolves. No doubt my former comrades will have them in their employ. Speak their words, and you might pass. Speak their words, and you might pass. Consider it a token of my thanks for the assistance in retrieving anathema. Pursuit of my interests has led me to fall in with some disreputable company in my time. For a short while, one such group was the Black Ring. I know, not something to be proud of, but they let me do as I wished, so desperate they were for aid after the Death Fog cut them down to size. A fine arrangement, until they started preaching about this God King and his infernal covenant.
He snorts derisively.
The last thing this world needs is another would-be god, and an army of fools willing to follow him. It's a sop to all the fools who think that someone will grant them power and immortality in return for loyalty. This God King has caused to make war with the Seven, and the Covenant is how he's gathered his army. They become sworn, as it was put to me, bound to serve, die, and be reborn for the God King for as long as he wishes. Then, at some ill-defined point in the future, they think they'll be rewarded. You should have seen them all, on their knees, worshipping a new tyrant just to spite 7 old ones. I got away from them while I still could. Unfortunately, Dallas was waiting to snatch me. You know why. A time is coming when you're going to need me, and I won't be much use to you if I'm performing self-surgery, will I? Besides, it doesn't matter if you don't let it matter. Black Ring, Divine Order, all labels try to define who we are. As soon as a skin is of no more use to me, I shed it. You ought to try it sometime, Godwoken. There's a clue in the name. He's a god, or something that wants to be a god. Continue to march to the Seven's beat, and I'm sure you'll find out exactly what he is. They're all the same, you know. Tyrants, liars, carrion birds. The best thing would be for them all to destroy each other and leave the rest of us to live in peace.
Hello. This island is something else, huh? Of course. Told you I would, didn't I? Sure thing.
These bodies have been purged.
Who could have done this? I suspect we shall soon find out.
Before you stands a shrine. As you approach, you feel it hum with a benign power.
I've never seen ruins like these. You don't get out much, do you?
Blackring. Could they be doing the purging?
The plot thinnens.
As if from nowhere, a sweating warrior appears before you.
You were late, Bonebag. The Divine Order pigs be here at the temple. Kill him.
He points you towards the nearby temple, where a...
You have your orders. Get to it. Then get you out to it. Now!
Prepare yourself!
Glory is mine!
I'll yield to none.
Get your soft ass to the camp and report. Do it now.
Fight well for underlings. And you shall have more. You may even kill a Godwoken if you can find one. Maybe even old Alex himself. Do not be so eager, underling. It won't be you who kills him. You fight well, but not that well.
You frown with surprise. Alexander vanished along with all the others when the Lady Vengeance breached the Hall of Echoes. You assumed he was dead.
Perhaps I have misjudged humans. Alexander seems as immortal as I.
Has as many lives as a cat, it seems. Let's see if he acts like one when cornered.
Oh, won't he be ever so happy to see us? This is going to be extra fun.
With a twinkle in his eye, he offers you an apple. Shiny and red, the apple is perfect in every way. He pulls the apple away and shakes his head. He opens his mouth, indicates for you to do the same. He holds the apple to your lips. It feels not cool and dry, but warm and wet. He squeezes. Liquid, warm and coppery, fills your mouth, drips down your throat, spills onto your chin. You realize a nearby magister has had his heart cut out, and the Blackring Knight's gauntlet is blooded. The knight begins to laugh. Beneath the mask, he
How spectacular. Did you see the light fade from their eyes? Their expressions as they passed from this world?
The necromancer looks wistfully at one of the bodies.
To experience the transcendental, there is such beauty in it all. You don't think so? You don't find that moment when life and death weigh equally on the scales just fascinating? Perhaps that is to be expected from lesser creatures, but it intrigues me. What must it feel like to slip away from this world and into the next? I wish I could feel it. Just once before our God King raises the faithful to immortality, before the chance is gone forever. Well, yes. Aren't you curious? I want to experience that moment, that fleeting moment as soul and body float apart. Of course, our Lord will resurrect the faithful when he himself is reborn. For us, death is a temporary inconvenience. So, perhaps you could perform a service for your betters and inconvenience me? Give me, damned fool!
The warg snarls at you. Its muzzle is stained crimson with the blood of its enemies, its flank with blood of its own. The hilt of a sword protrudes from its back.
I kill you, snake meat!
The warg growls louder, arches its neck, and opens its jaws around your arm.
You're not the thrall I've been promised, but you might be something to practice on until he arrives.
He pulls a small dagger from his robe and leans in close to examine you. You see that he's covered in a patchwork of tiny scars.
Such a pristine hide. Your skin will make a beautiful canvas. Ah, fine. I'll leave you to her pleasure. I just hope she doesn't throw your life away by sending you up against the Shriekers. It would be such a waste to see a fine hide like yours rotting outside the Elven Temple.
The altar stands before you, flecked with moss and the cracks of age. An ant crawls across the surface, dipping in and out of the inscription that's engraved on the rock. In honor of Ralik, first of the gods and patron of humanity. As your prayer drifts away on the breeze, you feel the world around you shift. You open your eyes to a courtyard with wooden targets and practice posts scattered about. And there before you stands Ralik, a twisted old man struggling to heft his own sword. With difficulty, he lifts it high, cutting down towards one of the targets, but he misses completely. His sword clangs against the cobbles, slipping out of his hands and skittering towards you. Cursing loudly, he crawls towards you, searching hands running over the stone. He's blind. He hears you as you step forward and lets out a cackle. One of the others sent you, eh? Sent you to pester a poor old man that has lost his sight. He snatches it back from you, but seems more likely to use it as a support than a weapon. He approaches, running his hands over your face. He grunts. He's not impressed by Solstice's champion, apparently. But he says that he may be willing to help. He just needs a little something from you, a small favor. 2, actually. He grins broadly, yellow, crooked teeth splayed wide. He needs your eyes. After all, what is a warrior without his sight? He assures us that they will be put to good use in the war against the Void. Your god leaps forward, knocking the frail old man sideways. Rallic gets to his feet, grabbing a shield emblazoned with a burning sun, and backs away defensively. The image fades, leaving only the symbol of the sun dancing in your vision. You slowly come to your senses at the temple, where chittering birdsong fills your ear. The altar stands before... Quick as a flash, the Magister has an arrow notched on his raised bow. He falters. A glimmer of recognition crosses his face, followed a moment later by a riot.
My Fort Joy savior! I never thought I'd clap eyes on you again. You always seem to catch me at a low ebb, unfortunately. My troop was slaughtered by Black Ring. I'm the only survivor. What are you doing here?
A skeptical eyebrow arches upwards.
You, Godwoken? That seems unlikely. Never mind. There are more important matters at hand. Bishop Alexander and the others might still be out there. I need to find them. Let me stay by your side for now. You can count on my bow in any fights to come.
He slings a quiver of arrows across his back and nods.
Eyes sharp.
Magisters and paladins, all dead.
No!
Delarus kneels and rolls over the corpse of a Magister. He takes in his comrade's lifeless face for a moment, Then...
Pierced. I'm sorry. Pierced. He was an old friend. He encouraged me to join the Magisters. And I talked him into coming to this island. This wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for me.
Delorus closes Pierced's eyes with his palm. Then
You're right. Pierced wouldn't want me to wallow. He'd want me to carry on with our mission. Let's get moving.
I fancy a swim.
You need a bath.
strange contrast.
An empty pedestal stands before you.
Something's missing here. Something valuable.
An empty pedestal stands before you. From the ostentation... An empty pedestal... The ghost stares right through you, a horrified look upon her face.
They took the realm. They took it all. But they don't know what it is. They don't know what they have.
Hope flashes in her eyes as she tries to focus upon you.
Those black ring dogs. They took the universe, but they don't know what it is. I pray they do not think to try to use it.
She turns away. A hulking black ring captain glares at you with his one eye. The other one, a weeping socket surrounded by recent burn wounds.
You're not one of mine. You're not from headquarters either.
His blade is inching out of its scabbard, even as he speaks.
Almira, apologies, mistress. I'd never have dreamed of questioning any thrall of yours.
He bows and gestures for you to pass.
See how we turn the world the...
That conjurer laid waste to an entire temple in an instant. After we
The conjurer pays you no heed. She has eyes only for the portal swirling ahead.
to see here. Please move along. I know it's doomed.
I've spotted something.
The automaton doesn't react to your presence at all. The automaton doesn't react to your presence at all. The automaton doesn't react to your presence at all. Embedded in the stone stands an ancient and venerable sword, as sharp and as strong as the day it was made. It feels good, cool to the touch. The sword does not budge. The sword slides smoothly free, but the silence of the cave is broken by the clank and whir of machinery. Uh-oh.
none. Prepare yourself.
Embedded in it, feel the sword Uh-oh.
not trying to escape, are you?
you serve the God King's scum? You serve the great Almira. The sallow man will want to speak with you. Take this.
He hands you a mirror of the blackest glass. The glass is black at first, but then a sickly haze begins to form like sand upon a pond. The haze shimmers and becomes a face. A one-faced man, perhaps, looking straight at you. You feel his hate, his avarice, his thirst for blood. God-woken blood. He does not speak, and yet he asks you who you are. You know the wrong answer will send him into a ferocious rage. It works, and instantly you know what the sallow man wants. Alexander's head, cut from his body and brought to his cave. And you know too what he's offering. Whatever you desire yourself to be. A new you, better than before. All your flaws gone forever. Sallow turns away. You're done.
What did Sallow say? What did he really say? That's our task. We would take the Elven Temple as soon as we could pass the Shriekers. You steal our service.
He seems on the verge of responding aggressively, but changes his mind and lowers his head in respect.
The mistress is most welcome.
It worked, and you know Sallow...
What? That's...
He seems on the...
The mistress is most welcome.
I even saw Lucian die. It was worth the agony of the death fog.
So you'll lead our next assault? I couldn't stand behind a braver soldier.
Please, Matty. The sergeant will lead.
none.
Doesn't it?
I won't lie. It's good to have company again.
He nods.
I never would have thought it myself either, but he resurfaced and won over us veterans, Magister and Paladin alike. Now he's set upon becoming divine, just like his father. He broke free from Dallas and Breedman's influence, and they tried to murder him for it. The fracturing of the Divine Order, the Voidwoken crisis, multiple attempts on his life. He's let... I won't lie. All right.
He holds his ground.
The destination pyramid doesn't answer the call.